Why use a template? Do you? Let's check out the benefits. Organisation. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. So what do I mean by that? Well, simply put, if you're not organised, a system of work that you're familiar with, then things can quickly go wrong. And I'll show you what I mean with my template here. I have a lot of different tracks pertaining to many different types of instruments. So guitars, bass guitars, and if we move through, we've got keys, so they could be synthesizers, strings could go in there as well. I've got vocals here in this aqua colour. Then I've got samples, any type of sample I might make. And then at the end here, in yellow, I have the drums. And at the very end, I have two buses where all the audio goes through. So an all music bus and then a pre-master bus at the end. And then here in the grey at the end is our master, our stereo out, our stereo bus. And on there I have a chain of plugins. I prefer to work backwards from the stereo bus and mix through that and track through it as well. So I will use this same template to track and mix. So that is one level of organisation. And then as I move through, as you can see, everything is colour coded, so I always know what instrument is what because I've kept it like that from the beginning within this template. So it's very easy for me to ascertain what is what. On top of that, I will add buses like this one here, as I'm going through a mixing process. So it doesn't start off like that. And this is obviously a fully mixed song I have here, but as you see, these purple buses all the way along, ones that I've added in. So for instance here, 2 kick tracks being sent to a kick bus, 2 snare tracks being sent to a snare bus, and so on. The pink ones are VCAs. I don't tend to use them too often, but sometimes they come in handy. And I also have actual bus for all the tracks within that section are being sent to. So in this case, in yellow here, this is the drum bus. So everything to do with drums will go to here. And then, as you see here, it is being sent to the pre-master bus. So drums will always go to the pre-master bus directly. And then all other sound and music will go into the all music bus in blue and then channel through to that. It's just the way I set it up. You will do whatever you need to do, and that is the point I want to come to next. In regards to how all this is set up, this is what works for me, and I've developed it over a number of years. There, obviously, you look up to your peers, people who've influenced you, do what I call steal and incorporate, which is take ideas that works for someone else and then see if those same ideas can work for you, perhaps with a slight tweak. So I'd encourage you to work with a template. It works for me. It may not work for everyone, but I think the level of organisation that goes into it gets you starting off from a very positive place. To show you how this all works, I'll work backwards from here. I'll play a little bit through the song and we'll scroll through and see what everything is doing. Okay, we'll start from the verse.
Move across those great seas with intent for host to flee. Take the land, ignore the please. We now rule with careless free. Empire building it.
Okay, so you got a good idea there of what was going on within that song. You could see the different levels. If you're enjoying watching this video, please consider smashing that like button and subscribing to my channel so that I can keep on bringing this free content. And obviously within mixing, you're going to balance things out, which is what mixing was originally called. It was called balancing. I just think that having a template is one step further into being successful and not having to muddle your way through. Also, I might add that everything has a name and is clearly indicated as such. So if I scroll through here, you can see everything. I know what everything is, even though I produce, I write all the songs, I do all the mixing and mastering myself. I still need to know what is what, and if the things don't have a name that I can understand what it is and where it needs to go, then I'm setting myself up for disaster. Very, very important that everything should be labelled clearly and concisely, and if you are sending tracks off to somebody else to mix, then it is an absolute prerequisite that you do that. Okay, we'll move on to the next section.